Okay. Um. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, there's so many things that I just have to like. I just have to explain it in a video, I guess. Because there's some things that it's because okay, so I just couldn't really watch the game, so I just took a nap and then I woke up like the last few moments of the game. But then I felt like there was a lot of things that happened very early game and I was right. So I was like going through everything back to the very like early game of the game. Um Dude, I literally just rolled out of bed. But so I'm gonna fast forward this and I'll slow it down when it gets there. Because I don't want to miss or like hold on, I'm gonna wear my glasses before I screw myself. Alright, this isn't Mixer, so I don't have to wear a shirt right now. I didn't you know how like there were like streamer jokes, thank you, about like I don't ever wear pants. um yeah. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I always wear pants. I don't know where you guys got that idea from. But it ain't true. I don't think Whippo or Nemesis or Hilly were really throwing because tanks are pretty late game now, which sucks. But I mean they've always been late game, sorry. So it's not like it's something new. And honestly, I don't think Healy is a very tank player. Because I mean, I don't really see him ever playing any tanks, actually. Does he even play tanks? I don't think he does. And, like, that's just a lot of focused teamwork. So, no, Shen is probably, like, the only time you can kill Shen is probably just early game. So, like, if you don't get him early game, like, no, Shen can be really good, but then it's like, if you keep focusing him, thank you, early game, like, he gets pretty screwed. No, and then I know Zaya's cooldown is like just all around bad, you know? So like that's why I don't like to play Zaya ever. Cause she takes so much time to build up and like so many resources that like I just don't like playing Zaya sometimes. What? What champions is let's see. I still spelled it wrong. Yeah, I don't think he's yeah, but Braum is different. Like Shen, I don't know. I just feel like Shen's such a hard champion to play. Why? He's got his sword, he's got like this stun, and then that's it. So, I don't know, I just feel like Shen's not a very good champion. For Necton against Nemesis? Why don't I just say Nemesis? Well, I've said this before already. Like, that's it's either just mid laners, because I know mid laners do that a lot, or it's just him as a person, and I don't feel like attacking him as a person. So I'm just gonna, you know, ignore that it even fucking happened, I guess. I'm trying to like get to the part where like he got the kills, but we're going on normal speed, so this is like painfully slow for me right now. Why did I say Whippo was throwing? Well, I don't like Ornn for that reason. So the fact that he picked it, we're just gonna go with the fact that it's already been picked. So let's just deal with it. Instead of like trying to fight it and be like, why do you choose it, you know? Oh yeah, and that's kind of another thing that I was trying to say. Like, you can't just blame people in solo queue like that. You can't be like, why did you play Ornn? Like, if you didn't play Ornn, we would have won. Like, that's just unacceptable behavior. So like that right there is already very negative on the team. And I don't know how to defend that. Why? Because I'm the type of person to be like, honestly, just do whatever you want. I don't even care. Not because I've given up on you, but because, like, you know, like, maybe Whippo wanted to play Ornn because he thought it could be really strong against Akali. Who the fuck knows, you know? Or he could be like, you know, that's the only range for Syndra. Honestly, like, there's so many things, because there's, like, if you ask me, Vayne, thank you, is probably one of the worst champions in the world, but you know what? People still decide to play Vayne. I don't know why, but, you know? So, there are a lot of things that I personally don't get, so for me to just judge Whippo just because he chose Ornn is just a little bit, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. What are other champions that I don't understand? Let's see. I need a champion list. I think you need to see all time, not just like what he's been playing. So, most of what... I'll come back to this. Why? Because you guys have to... Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Where did the thing go? Did I close it? Man, I freaking hate Twitch. Alright, so... No, because... Okay, so this is another thing. You guys never put the thing up, like, within, like, whatever. So then, like... I have to, like, do this? Wait, this is the third... Oh my god. Oh, not again. I like YouTube because I like going back to watch things like this. Okay. What was I doing? Oh god, I don't remember. Oh, that's so stupid. Oh, champion select, right. No, I'm gonna keep this up because this is pretty good for my reputation. So there's other champions. Verd actually used to heal, so he's okay. That's just some of the changes he's gotten. Poopy is actually a really bad champion as well, in my opinion. I feel like she doesn't really have anything that can really help her. Ever. So I would say Poopy is a very bad champion. I like to call her Poopy because every time I type in chat, I always end up typing Poopy instead of Poppy. So I've just renamed her to Poopy. Skarner's really bad too because he's got really bad range, but oh yeah, so thank you, because I know personally I hate any champion that heavily relies on their teammates. And Skarner, Riven, Shen, Sinch, not so much, because like he can literally toss you and like kill the whole entire team by just walking around. So that's fine. Oh yeah, Tahm Kench is really bad. Why is he good? He really isn't that good. If you pay attention to how much people play him in like pro, it's really not that much. And the people that do play him are usually very, like, they play around him, so, you know what I mean? And then the people defend him. So, yeah, exactly, it's like a Vayne. That's why I said I don't really think Tahm Kench is a threat. No, Tristana has too much mobility. That's just broken. Twitch has range in his ult, so that's broken. Vi is also another one that's like Tahm Kench, where like they have a lot of things that can either slow, alt, but that's only like once in like 60 seconds. So like completely not useful. What do I mean? Vi has one thing that like her W or her E where it doesn't have any mana. So it's kind of like the shield that Tahm Kench has. Oh god, Udyr is just as bad, honestly. Like, Udyr and Skarner have the worst, except I think Skarner is actually more useful because he can, like, flash in, ult, and run away, you know? So, but Udyr is just, you know, chilling in the middle of the fight with everybody. So that's not a good idea. But, hey, you know, I don't know, you guys be on some other... No, I want to fast forward this, but I have a feeling I'm going to miss something again, which I did the first time, so. Yeah, but then it would be like, it wouldn't be like from the top, it would be like from the bottom, which is just equally as bad. This is why I'm okay with mixer rules. You see how like he doesn't really have anything to defend himself? You know what I mean? Like, and then Reckless is over here chilling with his freaking 50-second cooldowns. So, you know, it's just all, it's just been all around a bad idea. No, I see a lot of Shent and Iron, but this isn't really Iron. What happened here? So, I know Sylas is kind of like late game as well, where like he needs more. Yeah, see, that's just teamwork. There's nothing you can work around with teamwork. Sorry. What is this? LCS? Are they playing? Oh, I don't really want to watch this. Okay, I'm just gonna keep analyzing this game. My teacher didn't know how to spell analysis, and I told her you need to spell anal. Anyways. What happened there? Well, tanks are all weak, like super weak until like later on, so I don't know what I can say here. This is just how it is. I don't think I have ever seen an overpowered Ornn before. So I don't even know how to defend this decision right now. Yeah, see that's one of the things that I was saying about so I wanted to cap AP champions by forcing them to build magic penetration so then tanks would actually still have a chance. Because if you think about it, if you say there's no cap on AP, then like stuff like this happens a lot in the games because if there's only health, right, then that means AP, exactly, they just have to stack the items, whereas if you have MR and health, then it forces the AP champions to get magic pen, which means sometimes that could mean less AP. Does that kind of make sense? So like when you don't really have whatever like that, it's not really like, oh, this person got super fed. It's because the items are just not right, you know? I mean, I guess maybe it is only just a fucking programmer thing, but like you guys see how like because of this game, thank you, that like if there was magic penetration items more higher, not really higher priority, but like if he had to build magic penetration, thank you, to be able to do damage on Hilly, can you see how that like would not really need to nerf or put a limit on AP? Because I don't really agree. I do not agree with the idea of capping AP items, like, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, you shouldn't cap AP items, you should just force AP champions, thank you, to get Magic Pen. Does that kind of make sense? I think it makes sense. You know, like, yeah, but then it's like, okay, well, if you don't cap AP, then that's I mean, if you don't force people to get Magic Pen, then that's what's gonna happen, which is pretty fair. You know what I mean? No, because I don't think Hilly bought Magic Resist. I think he just went full health. But if he had known that if you build MR, it would counter full build AP, does that kind of make sense? You know, like, because if you go full build AP and you can counter MR, then there's no point in building MR, thank you. And I've said this before in my old board posts for, yeah, like, a lot of people remember this from me saying it. So I think that's why a lot of you guys who known me for a while knows exactly what I'm talking about, because I went into pretty good detail and clarification on my post on what I'm trying to say, and that never included like nerfing anyone actually. So so yeah, if you guys, I mean, should I even try bothering to describe it? All right, anyways, thank you. So if you build full build AP, you should not be able to do damage on someone who decides to build MR. Does that kind of make sense? Like, if you're full build AP, thank you, and you do not have a single Magic Pen item, then you should never be able to do damage on someone who has MR, because you have no magic penetration. So that means you are unable to do any damage to anybody with MR. But I understand how, like, in solo queue, that's not really what happens, because if there's so many scripts and stuff like that, that, like, you can't really implement these things. But thank you, because this is, like, a pro play situation, I think this is where you guys can kind of put your foot down, you know? And, like, as a support player, it's really not that hard, you know? You have, like, 4 or 5 MR items, you got, like, 5, 10 health items. Alright, no, but that's not the point. The point is, like, what Hilly did here is not wrong, but because there is no cap on APs, that's kind of why I kept saying, like, this is a losing game, because if you weigh out everything between AP versus health, like health stacking, health regen, or just, like, health items in general, thank you, it's very uneven and very unfair to tanks versus AP champions. Like, AP champions have so many more, like, choices and so less gold compared to a health person, you know? Like, a health person has to stack in health, and then even then it's just like 400, 400, 400. But then you got AP, where most mid laners are boosted by their teams, and then there's also no cap on AP, so then that means they can just stack in, like, the cheapest fucking items ever, and then they can just do so much fucking damage. And that's, like, honestly, this is just a losing game for tanks. So, no, I'm saying specifically AP. I'm not really saying, AD champions, but the reason why I don't want to cap AP is because they are mid laners. So you kind of have to counter, like, the whole entire game kind of as a mid laner. So capping AP would actually make it super unbalanced, and I have said that before, and that's why I was like, instead of capping AP, like, just get emphasize Magic Pen items. I'm not saying add more Magic Pen, because at first I said that, and then I realized if there's more Magic Pen items, then that means it would, well, actually, the reason why I'm kind of, like, debating about that is because halfway, because that's not something I wrote on the boards. I just kind of been thinking about this and, like, playing solo queue and, like, kind of trying to think, like, of a compromise, because I've noticed if there's more items, it confuses people, so it actually like has the opposite effect and makes it even harder. But when it's like, you know how, like, everybody understands what crit does, right? Because there's so little items, and it also does a lot of damage. So, like, what does Riot want to do there? Because they can also not make crit that high emphasized, but then also not have a lot of items of it. Does that kind of make sense? So, like, what would Riot want for me, I want more items because I've noticed a lot of people don't understand the details of a lot of MR and health items. And that's why yesterday I was gonna, I said, like, if this item doesn't work, I'm gonna flame the shit out of Riot. Because you know how they added, like, one more item that's, like, almost exactly as the same as the other item? But then everybody likes Spirit Visage better because they know it better. But then it's like, now there's a new item, but it's not necessarily better. So, like, are you guys kind of seeing, like, my, like, what I'm doing here? So, did it make it harder? Yes, it did. Because for people like me who build on my own, obviously it doesn't matter for me. And that's not even a question for me if it was harder or not. Because I never needed, you know? But for people who relied on Spirit Visage because their friend told them to, then yes, the game became very hard because they're like, why is there 2 items? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. Why is there 2 items? Why am I... You know, so to them, yes, the game got a lot harder. But to us, it's kind of like, does this thing even work? Like, so, no, it is more fun because then you start testing things out. Like, okay, is this a good build? Is this necessary? I know there's a few more items that are MR and health that either are so good that they get scripted on, or it doesn't work because of their scripts. Does that kind of make sense? Like, because they have their pre-written programs that, like, it's not that it overrides it, but it's like the item does not override their scripts. Does that kind of make sense? Like, if they have scripts saying I'm gonna do damage to any MR, then yeah, it's gonna override your item, right? So no, because yeah, exactly, right. Well, that's kind of why it's called a hack or reverse engineering, because you're reverse engineering and re-decompiling the original do source code from whatever, you know? So that's why it's... Alright, you guys are kind of dumb. I can't do this. So let's go back to this. I think Reckless does like a 1v3 here. So for Syndra, she's actually really easy to counter because her cooldown is like freaking 20 seconds. So the stun's actually super easy, and what I like to do to counter Syndra is I like to overwhelm her, thank you, like Yasuo. Like, Syndra player, well, you can't really overwhelm me because I'm fucking, like, I always keep my distance anyways, so you can't really do that to me, but I know some Syndra players, maybe not Jensen, but some Syndra players, like, probably Pokimane, or like Lily Pichu, you know, like, you can overwhelm them pretty easily, you know, because, like, exactly, you just get, yeah, but then you need a melee champion. I'm saying if you don't have a melee champion, just count it down. You know, like, they only have, like, I don't even think Riot lets you 5-second E on Syndra. Like, no matter what you build, I highly doubt Riot's ever gonna give you less than 5 seconds on E. So just count it down. Just be like, alright, E. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then within that 5 seconds, you gotta kill her. So, no, I know it was easy for Reckless, but he's got his freaking E that lasts for like another exactly. So like, you got 2 people with like the longest E's ever. So like, that, honestly, I don't understand the concept here. So, well, yeah, that's why sometimes I don't always say like, honestly, I feel like I don't, that's just bad. I don't know how to defend this at all. Oh my god. Nemesis plays a lot like Sneaky, where he's very temperamental and very, I don't want to say emotional, but like, he's very sensitive to things. So That's why I personally don't like Nemesis and why I personally don't really like Sneaky as a player, because they're very weak to me in that sense, because I'm not into the whole emotion thing. Look at Reckless 1v3 here. Why would they do more damage? Because it's teamwork buff. I mean, not teamwork buff. So the thing about the donkey effect is, because donkey used to... Okay, so because the turrets, thank you, didn't used to do as much damage, it actually indirectly encouraged people to do this and feed and purposely, like, not help him in lane. Does that make sense? So Riot kind of countered that by, like, tripling and, like, doing more damage as, you know, as the longer you stand on the deterrent, and that's what I meant by the donkey effect. Because if Riot never got rid of it, which they didn't, and we already saw the consequences for, like, years, the consequences was people are gonna be more likely to feed on all your other team, like, you see how what happened here with Reckless, right? His whole team is, like, disappeared. I don't know where the fuck they are, right? This happens to Donkey a lot because they knew that Riot was not going to help Donkey, right? So then they would all purposely just, like, disappear, and then all these people on the enemy team, thank you, would just show up in lane. And that was what Riot did not want. Because, yes, it is teamwork, but if you think about it on Donkey's side, that's not teamwork. And I think on Riot's side, they were like, okay, what are we, like, this is having, like, not encouraging teamwork, and I can see why people are not. And that's why I was saying, like, if you want people like New001 who actually knows what they're doing, then you have to help keep them in power, especially when you're a customer. Because if you continuously flame Riot, then it's kind of like, well, he's the one who's in charge right now, right? So technically, he's the only one that's going to get in trouble because you guys never specified who exactly is doing this, right? So can you see why you're losing the power? Anyways. Come here. Come here. You want to go pee, huh? You do? Oh god, I should have peed you before I started! Is it me or is it, like, really freaking hot in my room? This. I do agree. See what I mean? You shouldn't have went back. You should have just, like, walked the other way. Yeah, see, that's what I don't really like. Like, if Reckless is not doing it because I play Syndra a lot, like, that's actually what I hate about Sneaky. Like, I hate when guys play like this. Why? Because I think you're fucking weak that way. I mean, I can pull up the whole feminist thing, but I don't even want to say it because, like, it literally makes me sick doing it. So, like, if you guys want to hear it, you're gonna have to piss off, like, one of the fake feminists so you guys can hear it. But otherwise, I personally don't want to say it because it fucking gets so annoying. Sorry! I don't know what you guys think, like, Reckless can do with his cooldown. Like, that thing doesn't cool down until you get either a few kills or, like, pretty late game, and even then... we used to have 11 feathers, thank you, and now we have 8. Unless, I think... I don't know what the specific level is, but you get, like, more than... Do you even get 11? by 18, like, I think it has to be like a very, very pay attention and then spam E before you lose that feather. So, I don't know. I don't think we get it. No, that's actually why I stopped playing Zaya. Because I was like, if I can't have my 11 feathers, I don't want to know. No, that's why I started getting W. Even though, like, it has literally no meaning. No, this is like... Okay, so... Fnatic is pretty emotional sometimes, where, like... Except for Reckless. Oh gosh, so cute. Thank you. So, Fnatic sometimes gets too emotional, and then, like, they... When stuff like this is very encouraging, right? But as you can tell later on in the game, they get really, really, really emotional. And, like, exactly, and then it collapses on them because they're like, oh my god, why? And then they, like, drag themselves even deeper. Well, I'm a swimmer, so you're gonna drown if you do that. Like, literally, if you fight the water, you're gonna go down. But that is not the point here. The point is, that's why I said if Reckless doesn't kill Syndra because I play Syndra, then that's why I call him weak. Can you see how that concept is why Fnatic is losing? You guys watch. I will let you know. You guys want Reckless to hit his E for 1 minion? That doesn't... I know Reckless knows how to counter Syndra, but the fact that he doesn't kill him is why I always tell men to, like, not treat me like a fucking e-girl. Because then that means you guys lose games, and eventually other guys will start doing it, and then it will collapse onto you, and then you'll be, like, blaming me, even though you're the one who's fucking throwing. So, like, that's why I call it just weak overall to begin with. What the fuck is Hilly doing? I think Reckless got mad that he got left. So then he was just like, honestly, fuck you guys. And then he just quit, just like rage quit. No, I mean, I can see why he would get mad and just give up, because he'd be like, oh my gosh, at least I didn't try, so it's my fault. See, this is the solo queue rage right here. Okay? This, like, you see how Reckless kind of just gave up on Haley? That is solo queue for you, you know? It's kind of like, but I don't have my items. Like, you're not going to spend all your time in chat being like, okay, I'm a tank right now, so, like, I can't do anything. So then, like, you know, you don't have time to do all of that, right? So it really takes a, yeah, but then, I mean, you did see the solo fight, so then it's kind of like you guys see what I mean? God damn it. Freaking men and solo queue. This is why I work so hard to keep my credibility. Nobody listens to me. They're all jaded like this. You know what I mean? Like, every single man in esports thinks like this. They'll be like Reckless and Healy, you know? Healy's like, oh, Reckless, you didn't help me. And then Reckless is like, oh, no, Healy, you didn't help me. And then it's just like, oh my god, this is the guys I have to work with. So this is why I'm such a perfectionist, because people like this will never trust you if they find out you fucked up. That's why a lot of girls have a hard time in esports, because... And that's why they try this argument of, you can't do that. I'm like, what? I don't want any guys doing this shit to me. I don't think Twitch servers can handle GIFs. They only handle images. Oh, it's probably the anime. He's mad again. And we've gone freaking... No, this is why I said, like, I don't like to use, you know... And this isn't even me. Okay, this is just hentai. Can you imagine how much worse it would be if it was me? Oh my god, what the fuck? Whippo, Nemesis, and who else? Hilly? Well, the reason why I don't want to say he is because tanks are very hard to play early game. How is Shen even useful? He really isn't. I like to go very, very slow. Well, who you have on your team, like no e-girl's gonna be able to dissect a game like this, and they're definitely not gonna have any credibility amongst the esports community because they're like, you're just copying whatever Christine's saying, so we don't believe you anyways, unless you can actually prove that it's your own fucking ideas. So I'm not really afraid of anything because this is why I don't keep beta cucks on my team, because it's kind of like you're gonna get called out by somebody and I don't really want to defend you. If you guys don't do this when you play, you're never gonna learn what you did wrong. They're not doing any damage at all. And Reckless is like, should I sacrifice myself? Alright, I'm sorry. Janko's walked out of that one. No damage, no damage. 3 people on 1 person is gonna kill anybody. 4 on 2, that's just bad all around. No damage done to anybody. Nobody's taking damage. Yeah, that's like a 5-man team. They're screwed. I didn't want to tweet throughout the game because I don't really know G2 like that. So, and there isn't very clear e-girl stuff, I guess you can call it. Because a lot of the other teams is very clear that they're very e-girl like. And I say e-girl because it's not like, oh yeah, you know, just because it's an e-girl, like e-boy doesn't really make any sense. That just sounds like you're insulting Game Boy. So, I don't really like to use e-boy. I just like to call it e-girl behavior because I don't. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to do the booby streamer thing again because I'm a booby streamer. Look at these titties. I'm obviously a booby streamer, but do I talk like one? No. Do I talk like an e-girl? No. So, obviously, you can't really call me a booby streamer. Like, you can, but you can be like, she's a booby streamer, but she doesn't really talk like an e-girl. Does that kind of make sense? Like, I don't really beg people for shit. I don't ask people for help. So you can call me a booby streamer, that's fine, because I do have boobs, right? You can't say, like, if you support me, please don't do that. So, well, he got alted. That's great. What can he, I don't know. See, that's why I don't like Ornn. I know people play top Ornn, but I personally don't get it. Oh, I don't think it's a good pick. Ugh. They're not playing passively. Akali has range. Jankos does not fucking slow because he can ult. And Renekton has a lot of mobility. Syndra has mobility, and Thresh has stun. So yeah, there's no ADC, but there's no cap on AP either. So I mean, it works out, right? But the reason why Fnatic I thought this pick was really bad was because they're a full tank team, and it's not just like exposing Reckless. Because I understand there's the whole like, how do I say this? I have met a lot of people in solo queue who just really want to win, and like I think it's great, you know. But honestly, for me at least, I don't help people who do this. Because if you're gonna treat me like shit, I'm not gonna give you a free win. Does that kind of make sense? Like, whoever said I'm not gonna win is just insane. Because I think I have a lot of credibility for what I say and what I do because of what I have done for the past 4 years. Does that kind of make sense? Like, if I didn't do, thank you, any of this stuff in the last 4 years, like, I would actually get a lot of shit from the community being like, Christine, how come you're not nice to other girls? Christine, how come you don't do this? Christine, how come you don't help this person? Like, it doesn't make sense. If you have so much influence in your family, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you pay for this? How come I'm not getting this for free? Like, can you kind of see that kind of behavior and why, like, I kind of understand what Reckless is doing here because that's the same shit I'd be fucking doing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, if you're not gonna help me, I'm not gonna help you. You know what I mean? Because after a certain point, like, for you guys, it kind of sucks because, like, for Reckless and stuff, it's like, you guys have that history of being friends, whereas I don't. So can you see how, like, from my perspective, because I see how you guys treat Reckless, how, like, I would just be like, you know, I really don't have an intention in helping you because you're not even going to help Reckless. So if you're not going to help Reckless, then why would I help you? You're just gonna, exactly, thank you. You're just gonna treat me exactly how you treat Reckless. Like, Reckless was nice to you, Reckless was professional to you, Reckless helped you, but you never did any of those things back for Reckless. But yet, I see you're using everything that Reckless has given you against him. So why would I want to make the same mistake as Reckless right now? Does that kind of make sense, like, what's going on? I'm not saying his teammates are fucked up or anything. I'm just saying, like, sometimes as a pro player, you can't always do things for yourself. It's actually more of, like, it's not for the fans. It's, like, for the community, I guess, kind of thing. Which makes a lot of sense, because Reckless is playing Xayah. But anyways, thank you. But you guys can see, like, well, I'm pretty sure everybody already knew, but I'm just trying to calm down the Fnatic fans of, like, why are they fucking throwing? Why did they do this? Like, is this some underground shit? I don't think it's an underground shit. I don't think it's, like, to rig bets. I don't think they were purposely throwing for any reason. I think they're genuinely trying to teach people, like, and use their platform and their image to kind of explain this and also give me content. Thank you. But I don't know if that's really what they're doing or not, but I mean, yeah, the tilting videos was released, but you have to understand, like, it's not always about, like, what's being said, you know? And I guess maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't really understand, and I don't really know, because I woke up on the last game and this is what happened, and I'm trying to make sense of it all as well. So, I was sleeping the whole time. I just woke up, and I woke up to this. No, I woke up to when they were really pushed back, like when they had 0 turrets. And I was like, wait, what's going on here? And then I didn't really want to make any, like, rash decisions, so I didn't send a single tweet, because I was like, okay, I need to watch the beginning of the game, thank you, because most of the time, if you watch the end of a game, it doesn't really make any sense, because there could be a lot of things that went wrong. There could be, like, I don't really want to compliment the enemy team, because you need to focus on your own mistakes. Like, if you overextend, thank you, or if you make the wrong decision, or if you... Well, there are... Okay, pro players are not perfect, so they tend to make bad calls sometimes, or, like, you know what I mean? So it's not always, like, 100% perfect. So I don't really like to, like, shit on pro players too much, but honestly, I just don't understand why they picked these champions. I don't think any of these champions are, like, the best for anybody. And, like, you know, sometimes it's really hard to compete with G2 when their branding is better. Oh gosh, there's so many other things that are just, like, screwing Fnatic right now. Like, I don't even know what to do. What does that mean? Okay, I don't really see anybody on G2 that, like, is really e-girl behavior, except for, like, Thresh, which is fine, because, I mean, jungler, second support, you know, and Thresh, ooh. I really don't want to be the toxic one here. Anyways, so I don't know what to do, but yeah, thank you. G2 does not... Okay, so I don't think Wunder talks to e-girls. As bad of a player as he is, I don't think he talks to e-girls. Jankos probably doesn't really get as affected by e-girls as Broxah does. So he automatically wins in the reputation area. Whippo is not really winning in that reputation area, because I have a feeling his girlfriend's actually an e-girl, and that's why he gets this, like... If you see how the community sees Whippo, thank you, it's not the best. So Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Wonder on this one because I feel like a lot of people support Wonder not because they like him. So, no, I'm just watching Twitch chat because you have to understand, like, whenever someone makes a play, you see the reaction in Twitch chat, right? So, if Whippo does something versus when Wonder does something, you can clearly see how the community reacts to it because they're literally typing it in Twitch chat, right? So if they're not going to have a very good reaction to Whippo and they have a very good reaction to Wonder, it's kind of like, well, it's very clear who the community likes more, right? Even if Whippo's not doing good, but even if Wonder's not doing very good, but for some reason they think he's doing great, there's definitely a problem with Whippo. Does that kind of make sense to you now? So it's exactly, they're praising somebody who's not good versus someone who's supposedly really good but has an affiliation with someone. So, well, I mean, e-girls use this concept all the time. They're like, yeah, but everybody likes me. So, like, it doesn't really matter what you think, right? Because everyone likes me. So, I mean, it's kind of the same concept. Everybody likes Wonder, they just specifically don't like you. It's really just the same concept. And I'm still talking about the game here. Anyways, so like I was saying, I think Broxah knows more e-girls than Jankos does. And I don't think Jankos lets e-girls get very far. You know, whereas I guess because Broxah looks more beefy, they just automatically call him like misogynistic. Which is what I've been saying a lot of times on Twitter. I was like, they are going to use that concept against you. Like, they can't even call Jankos a fucking misogynist because he's not even strong enough, looks strong enough, right? So they purposely use that against him, and that's why I was like, this is gonna backfire. And it kind of is, because nobody in the community really talks negatively about Jankos, but they do with Broxah. So, I mean, that's another problem right there, and that's why Jankos wins. No, I'm talking about your reputation amongst, like, Twitch community, right? Because whether or not you guys want to believe this, but the Twitch community spends money. And they might just be people like me, thank you, not saying they, like, have the same mentality. I'm just saying their money concept might be just like me, where it's like, you treat me like shit, you talk shit about me, I'm not going into this event. I can throw down like $1,000 on Riot stuff, but I will never fucking show up to an event because I don't fucking want you to know who the fuck I am. That doesn't mean they don't spend money. They probably spend way more money, 2 times, double, triple, quadruple the money that people who go to events do. But thank you, they're just like me. If I don't feel safe, if I don't have a guarantee to my safety, I'm not going. So that could be where G2 people have a lot more gear and a lot more money and a lot more presence than Fnatic. That's the problem right there that I'm trying to explain to you guys by going down every single lane and explaining to you guys why G2 is winning even though their play is mediocre. Caps, we all know, Jensen, Caps, Nemesis. We don't need to talk about that. So, Perks and Reckless. Reckless is kind of like, you know, he's kind of a bro. He kind of supported Nemesis. I don't know if you guys remember this, but a few weeks ago, a few months ago or whatever, I don't know, I can't count days. But Reckless would actually try to force Nemesis into an ADC role, and Nemesis loved that shit. He loved it, you know? So, oh man, Reckless is so nice. So then Reckless is kind of doing the same thing with Perks, because Perks is kind of just getting tossed around, honestly. He's not the best mid laner because he's so passive. So then Reckless is like, oh man, like, Oh, it's so cute. Alright, anyways, so Hilly, we all know he can obviously win. But no offense, but Reckless has thrown a few games where Hilly tried so hard and then Reckless is just like, nah. Oh my god. So I can't even blame him for what he's doing. And I don't think Reckless really needs him either. So this is just... No, because if you think about it, like, if you think about it from, like, a fan's perspective, thank you, G2 would have won this game, regardless. Fanatics, they're not like that, like G2. G2's not winning because of their mechanics, obviously. Like, if it really came down to it, like, if we're talking about skills and not reputation and who they know, Whippo will win because Wonder is boosted by Jankos. Broxah would probably win because he plays like Meteos, but then at the same time, Jankos also plays a lot like Meteos. So it would actually be really interesting, thank you, between these two, because Broxah and Jankos kind of are very, like, not troll, but like, they play like Meteos where you think they're very weak, but then when it really comes time to like test their skills, like, you will be amazed at what either one of these guys are capable of. So that's why, no, that's what makes this game fun. And that's what actually makes this game very entertaining, is when people who play like Meteos like this will like play really bad, and then all of a sudden you see him get like a pentakill and you're just like, bro, like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? You know? And then like for people like us who are like, okay, we know they're good players, but who's better? You know? No, because if you look at Wonder and Whippo, it's like, bro, like, I don't even, it's in Caps and Nemesis, we all know Caps is better. So that would have went back to G2 on that one. But so far it is Whippo wins, Jungle not sure, Caps wins, and then when it comes to Perkz versus Reckless, Perkz always backs down, and that's why he fucking loses. And that's actually why I don't like when Reckless backs down from Syndra, because that's why Perkz loses. So why would I want Reckless? Just fucking retard. Alright, so if Hilly... Yeah, Hilly's gonna win. So honestly, the only person on G2 that can win based on skills, hypothetically... Well, I know Caps is gonna win over Nemesis. That's not even like a question. But what I don't know is Jankos versus Broxah. Like, that's the only thing I'm not sure of. So it would be 2 versus 4. Yeah, no. Fnatic will win skill-wise. But if it's based on like marketing, branding, and for business and profit, G2 would win. Because the community likes G2 way more, and if you want your customers to keep coming back, you have to give them what they want, and I think the community wants G2 to win. And does that kind of make sense? That's why I did like a brand, person, individual breakdown before I did a skill breakdown, because it really wouldn't take me very long. So yeah, if only this game was based on skills, then yes, Fnatic would definitely win, but they're not. So we have G2 winning, which is really not bad, because G2 represents all of us, sadly. Not the skills necessarily, but definitely the type of really, it's not try hard, it's like you love the community and you take care of your fans kind of thing, where it's like, well, what Fnatic is doing is kind of like below their skill level, because does that kind of make sense? Like, if you, it's not really the abuse. It's like when E-Girl, thank you, brags about being in Diamond, and it's like, but we all know you didn't get to Diamond. Does that kind of make sense? And that's not really what's going on with G2, because all of these guys work really hard, and they're not shallow people. They treat people nicely. Does that kind of make sense? Because I've never really seen or heard anything about Wonder being like hanging around E-Girls. I mean, I'm sure Jankos flirts a lot, but so does any E-Girl, so you can't really be sexist and just single him out and say only he is being fucked up when you're doing the same thing, right? I know, but Broxah, because he is, like, he has more muscles, people will always, like, somehow associate that with being misogynistic, and I'm like, you guys are so fucking ridiculous. Like, okay, just because Jankos looks like a gamer It does not mean he's any less misogynistic than Broxah. Like, if anything, they're equally the same. It's just Broxah has more muscle than Jankos does. So it's not that. It's because these e-girls are trying to ruin Broxah's life, but then they can't really do anything to Jankos because all the gamers are like, bro, like, we know what you're doing. We're not gonna listen to you. So, can you guys kind of see why, like... Anyways, how about Reckless? He's a soccer player, so he knows exactly how to deal with this. Anyways. No, that's why I like Reckless, because he knows what he's doing. Like, ugh. Anyways, let's go back to the game, because we're getting further and further from this. My arm is on my leg. You see this? This is my knee. And this is my arm. I'm not doing it here. I'm doing it here. Well, this is what it looks like, and this is what it looks like. Did I know they were gonna throw? No. Oh, it's fucking sleeping. What the fuck would I know? I just watched this game. I'm gonna fast forward this because I can't watch this in normal speed. Oh, there's a fight. Perks has lost his freaking mid-laning abilities. Reckless has given up on life. You guys can argue it however you want, but you cannot change the minds of the community. They will do and believe whatever they want to do and believe. No, that would be me fixing it. I'm not fixing this. It would not benefit. See, here's the thing, like, it would not really benefit Fnatic for me to fix this, because the image that G2 has is not even a bad one, you know, and I don't know how to fix this. Like, I feel like I would lose more than I would win. So, no, I'm not gonna fix it. And it doesn't even have anything to do with Reckless. Like, I'm here for Reckless, I'm not here for everybody else. So, like, I'm not really obligated to fix anything. And the only reason why I'm fixing the Broxah situation is because it can very easily happen to Reckless. Because I can see how a lot of girls would be calling Reckless for being misogynistic, for wanting to be loyal to his girlfriend kind of thing, you know? Because they did it to Dopa already. And I think they're trying to do the same thing with Reckless. So, if you ever wonder why I support Meteos so much, Reckless. Does that kind of make sense? Because it kind of seems like Meteos, Reckless. Can you see that? How that's kind of happening again? And you see how Jensen, Reckless, you see how that's kind of happening again? And then you see Dopa, Reckless. Can you make the connection here now? Well, that's why I support Donkey, thank you. Because Donkey, Reckless, you see why I support these guys now? Anyways. Sneaky hasn't done anything and he's gone full e-girl, so I don't even know how to like there's nothing, I can't do anything anymore. Well, maybe he needs to ask his girlfriend for help, right? Okay, this is where I start speeding the game up. Well, I probably would not like Reckless if he couldn't solo the game, right? Broxa is just like Meteos. He freaking like roams in the jungle. Oh my god, what is this Meteos? I mean, it's obviously not my idea because I just woke up. So I plan on staying asleep. Actually. See what I mean by they're very good at reverse sweeping? No, that's why I said maybe they're trying to like show you guys why like not working as a team and flaming each other. It actually is a summoner's code actually. I don't know which one it is because I know there's two. So here's the first one. It says a coordinated team is extremely difficult to take down, which is what happened here. They were extremely well coordinated, so yes, it was very hard to take down. No matter how hard you feel like you're carrying individually, blaming others and refusing to cooperate with teammates give your opponents advantage. Which is actually what happened here earlier with Jankos, Healy, and the 5-man bot. They kind of started tearing each other down because I think Reckless was like, that's not a good idea. And they were like, yeah, it's a great idea. And it's like, no, I don't think it's a good idea. So that's kind of like tearing each other down because you're not really agreeing or compromising with each other. So that's not good. Don't ever do that. We've all had tough games where we fell behind, got camped super hard, easy, only to get flamed in chat, which is kind of why they all kind of spread out and went back to their own lanes. Like, it happens a lot more than you guys think it would. So, in that case, yeah, exactly, just go back to your own lanes, exactly like they did. So, avoid making others feel that same way. Wow, that is bad English. Avoid making others feel that same way and report the ones who do. I mean, in pro play, you can't really report anyone. You kind of have to just rely on your fans to hopefully notice something, anything. So that's kind of why I'm here, but I'm just here for Reckless, not for everybody. But one of the things that you guys have to realize is I'm not going to want to date the whole entire team. Like, I'm not gonna run a whole entire fucking train with everybody on the team, you know? Like, if anything, I just want to have, you know, with Reckless, I don't want to, like, I don't want to suck anybody else's dick. So, if that's the case, I gotta make sure, like, they understand, like, I'm only here to help Fnatic on a professional level. Like, I'm not here as an emotional crutch for every single one of you. Like, if Reckless needs me emotionally, I'd be here. But I don't know if I can do that for the rest of you guys, right? So how do you do that? You don't fucking talk to them! You know, that could be a fucking wonderful method, right? Instead of being like, hey, Whippo, how you doing today? Hey, Broxa, how you doing today? Hey, Nemesis, how you doing? Or like, hey, Hilly, want to play a game together? Okay, you know, how the fuck would that help? I have a hair in my nose. Does that make sense? So, that's kind of why I have this reputation of don't fucking flirt with me. Because that's not gonna fucking help the team, right? If Whippo is single, if Broxa is single, if Nemesis is single, if Healy is single, they're all gonna want to try and date me. Right? So can you kind of see where that problem is going to come up? So, yeah. Well, Reckless kind of followed everybody, so it's not like our views are very different in that sense. That kind of makes sense now? So you win some, you lose some. Meanwhile, why not send a friend an invite? Nope, not happening. Taking allies? Not happening. I can't really do it, so I'm not gonna preach for you guys to obey those rules when I don't even obey those rules. Okay, I kind of want to read this. This is fucking killing me. I have to know. Are you okay? It feed then proxy. No. Okay, so this, I think these kind of people is why Dread Pirate Roberts and that guy who was swatting got like such a harsh punishment, because they're probably the FBI and whoever is arresting him or whatever. I'm pretty sure they were all like, well, you were bragging about it and you were proud of it. So like, sharing your account information with a friend still in good way. Oh my god, this is dumb. This is e-girls right here. This is made for e-girls. Sharing your account information with a friend can cause your account to be stolen for good or draw a ban for negative behavior you didn't commit. Logging into third-party sites with your League account information also exposes you to risk of account theft. Okay, Riot, you told us to sign into our Facebook. Alright, anyways. Enjoy yourself. Okay, so these are the old rules. And this right here is kind of where I got the idea to not be an e-girl when it comes to like stuff like this. You know, like it says enjoy yourself but not at anyone else's expense, right? Making games is our business, so it comes. Oh my gosh, this is too small. I don't think any of you guys can read this. Okay, no, Riot's webpage is like this, which I like. Anyways, making games is our business, so it should come as no surprise that we want you to have a lot of fun. We want you to get excited, to have attention filled, and to celebrate. This doesn't mean that we're okay with you ruining anybody else's day. So that's kind of where I got the concept of, if I only want to date Reckless, then I should not flirt with him, I should not flirt with him, and I should not flirt with him, and I definitely should not flirt with him because it could very easily ruin their day. So don't do that, okay? Didn't do it. Remember, taking a jab at your friend in the middle of the game is a lot different than making a glib remark at a complete stranger. Someone who is unfamiliar with what you consider playful may take your comment as an attack and react unfavorably. That actually makes a lot of sense, because say if Nemesis was more of like an emotional person than Broxaw can probably like swipe, what is that thing? Like, doesn't rub off on him or whatever. what is that thing called? Like when you can. Okay, you know how there's some guys in esports that is just naturally more like they don't take, it's not taking things personally. It's like they can flirt with multiple girls and not get attached to anybody, just like certain girls can flirt with multiple guys and not get emotionally attached. Whereas some people, they can talk to one person and then it's just like that one person forever, you know? So that's kind of why I don't really do that. Because someone who is unfamiliar with what you consider playful may take your comments as an attack or react unfavorably, which means I can probably say something to Broxaw and he'll just brush it off, thank you. Whereas if I say the same thing to Nemesis, he might actually take it very personally and be like, does that kind of make sense? So that's kind of why I just kind of avoid everything, not because like you guys are a bad person or like I just don't know how you're going to react, just like the Summoner's Code. Someone who is unfamiliar with what you consider playful may take your comments as an attack or react unfavorably. No, this has a lot to do with this game overall, because I see this happening a lot in solo queue and a lot in the esports community, thank you, where like a lot of guys are like, well, you said this to me and you said this to him, and then everybody just gets super mad. And it's like, if I said this to Meteos, he's probably gonna be like, well, I don't think just because she's talking to me, she wants to date me. Like, does that kind of make sense? And that's where, like, the horoscope signs come in, thank you, because as a Scorpio moon, even if I am an Aquarius, I will think you're taking it seriously. And because my Aquarius side is, like, gets tired of things really easily, I would be like, you know what? I don't really, this isn't really keeping me interesting. So it's kind of like, I need a lot of stimulus, but I also like it only on one person. So then, for me, you might flirt with me, but then I might get sick of you. So unless you know how to keep my interest, I'm not exactly going to be that loyal to you. So, can you kind of see why I would understand that kind of mentality more? Whereas someone who is... Who do I know that doesn't like... Is there anybody in esports that's really like that? I don't really think Aaron is like that though, because he actually gave Zoe Quinn a lot of chances. He was like... Uh-oh. What's happening? It's too many... It's been open too long, and that's why I don't like Twitch, because you see how like I opened on Twitch and then my windows started spazzing out, even though before it never happened. Okay, so break. Once during the break while we were drunk. Okay, so remember how he took a break and then he still wanted her back? So obviously he's not like as possessive as you guys say, like, because I'm very, very possessive, okay? There is no break. Once it's break, it's over. It's done. I'm not gonna come back, okay? You don't just throw me and pick me up later. Oh, hell no, okay? You either choose now or I'm gone forever. Facts. So, no, that's why I said he's very, very nice to Zoe Quinn. Like, who the fuck? Who's gonna let you fuck 50 different guys and then come back and be like, as long as you tell me the truth, I will still love you? A bitch? No? You fuck anybody else during our break, it's fucking over, bitch. And that's why I don't even take them back, because I'm like, you leave now and it's over. And they're like, okay, well, I'll leave now. Okay, then bye. You know what I mean? Because I don't love you that much, thank you, to keep you around and be like, I still love you. Like, even though we were on a break, I still love you. Like, unacceptable. Alright, anyways. So, for you guys to say, oh yeah, he's really fucked up, like, no, he's not. He's actually very, very forgiving. He's given her very, very many chances. He was like, what in the actual fuck? What in the actual fuck? How was she not caught on that? I already know, and I'm giving her a chance to come clean. Like, I would just be like, I already know you're lying, so I'm just gonna block you, man. Fuck you! And then that'd be the end. I wouldn't even have all of this fucking Robin, okay, who the L... I don't even know how do you have this patience? Like, I just don't understand. I would have been like, man, I'm gonna fucking block you. Don't even try and come after me. If you fucking try and flirt with me later, that's emotional abuse. Don't you try and fucking come bother me. You're emotionally abusing me. You're emotionally manipulating me. And I don't want to deal with your emotional manipulation right now. That's just me. No, that's why I support him. Because you see how, like, he gave her a chance, right? And then he was saying something about... Oh my god. I didn't really know what emotional abuse was when I wrote this blog. In the comments from therapists, survivors who have taken the time to show... Oh my gosh. I'm grateful for the... Oh my gosh. Okay, that's it. That was just the only sentence. So, no, this was actually very educational for me, because I've always felt like emotionally manipulated by my exes, or like people I've had sex with, because they would like victim blame me and gaslight me, especially like Travis and Steve, where they would be like, you know, you're gaslighting me, you're emotionally manipulating me, and you're manipulating those around me to believe false information, which is exactly what Zoe Quinn did. Right? So, do you kind of see why people would support Zoe Quinn, even though it's like, well, I gave you the chance. And you see how, like, right? So, what does this have to do with this? Someone who is unfamiliar with what you consider playful may take your comment as an attack and react unfavorably. I don't know what's happened with any of these guys in their lives. So for me to just automatically assume, like, hey, you know, maybe if I make a comment, they may or may not think I'm flirting with them. Does that make sense? So it so it doesn't really it I know that's not what Riot wrote this for, but it does make sense. Right? So if two players on a team start fighting, good communication and teamwork become nearly impossible. That's kind of the main concept of why I never flirt with guys. Because, I mean, I didn't think it was emotional abuse. Like, I didn't really know what to call it. I just actually was just like, if two players on a team start fighting, good communication and teamwork become nearly impossible. I was just thinking that's just what happened with me, Travis, and Steve. I was just like, maybe this is just like, start fighting and teamwork and communication become nearly impossible. I never actually knew that, like, it's considered emotional abuse. I was just like, maybe all guys are like this. Maybe this is just their personality, and maybe like every girl who hangs out with guys with this type of personality is just gonna get this. So like before this Zoe post, I was actually just like, you know, I'm just gonna avoid people like, you know what I mean? Because I mean, that's kind of, no, that's actually why I don't really like to meet up with people, and I didn't really feel safe moving anywhere where, like, I couldn't get away. Because I felt like I just felt really, like, endangered, I guess. Because if you're gonna hang out with somebody, you're gonna have to eventually figure out what kind of person they are, right? And if I'm going to physically meet someone, then, like, how do I get away from you? So that's why I personally feel much safer on the internet meeting people, because I'm like, at least I will have a safe zone of figuring out what kind of person you are before I actually get to meet you. Does that kind of make sense? Except I really like League of Legends, thank you, because in League of Legends, I can just look at how you play. I don't even need to talk to you. Does that... You get it now? So, to me, these rules actually kept me safe, personally, because I felt like these things, like, if I had known these rules before I ever met people like Steve or Travis, then maybe I wouldn't be like this, and I probably wouldn't even need to be here because I would have never met people like them. But since they kind of try to ruin my life, I'm going to try and ruin their life, even though I'm not really ruining their life if they were actually nice to people. Anyways, so once communication breaks down, the likelihood of victory is dramatically diminished, and that's also why I don't like to talk to them. So I think he's completely fucking insane for being like, yeah, let's take a break and let's talk again. You're fucking insane for that one. I would have just blocked them, because once communication breaks down, the likelihood of victory is drastically diminished. So fuck that, I'm not talking to you. So it isn't uncommon for a simple good... No. Okay, so the reason with the whole Nico thing is because if you think about what Steve has said, if you think about what Travis has said, can you kind of see why the Nico thing had to happen? So then I can be like, this is your fucking fault. Anyways, it isn't uncommon for a simple good-natured teasing spiral out of control into a loss, so do yourself a favor and don't run the risk of sabotaging your own success. And that, people, is why I will never flirt with other players on Fnatic. It isn't uncommon for simple, good-natured teasing to spiral out of control into a loss. So do yourself a favor and don't run the risk of sabotaging your own success. But you guys don't ever fucking read, so why am I not surprised? Okay, so I was gonna do something. Oh, 我要去退奶奶那个口红. Yeah, she said happy birthday, Ma. It's your birthday today. 对啊. Oh my god. I know, Rufus. That's why I'm holding Rufus, or else he's gonna pee on the floor. Look at my pube-like armpit hairs. This is what color my pubes are. Wait, hold on. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Oh my god, what was I doing? Oh yeah, the thing. Okay, League of Legends Worlds 2019 qualified. Sorry, I gotta remember. So you know how sometimes you can't really remember what the article name is or like where it came from, so you just start like putting down all the words you remember from the article. Sorry. I read. But yeah, thank you. No, one of these sites were better than the other ones. Okay, so this is hella funny, right? Okay, so when I was just watching this, I was thinking about how like, oh yeah, so G2 won the regionals, right? But then they had to play Fnatic again. So like, what the fuck was the point of winning the regionals? Like, if I had known that's what it was, then I wouldn't have even said, oh yeah, you know, I want to watch more Reckless, because regardless, Reckless would still be there. Oh my god, this is so stupid. Like, what was the point of this? I just don't understand. Why is G2 playing again? Like, didn't they already win? Why are they playing again? I'm so confused. Didn't they already win? Oh my god, my brain. So, that's why today I was just like, wait a minute. Wait, what the fuck? Why is Fnatic playing G2? Isn't there like another really easy team they can beat? Like, what is this game? And then I just like started having like a breakdown because I'm like, what the fuck? Where is Team Liquid? Is Team Liquid not playing? Oh, and then I was just so confused. I was just like, what is going on? Why is G2 here? Why is LOL Esports spamming G2? What? And then after today's game and I see the championship, I'm like, so what the fuck was the regionals? What the fuck did they just... Oh, I'm so confused. How the fuck was I supposed to know? Like, I thought it was gonna be the exact same thing as LCS, where it's like, okay, since Team Liquid already qualified, right? Then it would be done. And then G2 and Fnatic would compete with other people. But no, it's G2 again. Like, I don't see Team Liquid competing with anybody else. I think this is it. Right? Like, Team Liquid is done. They're not gonna play with anybody else. That's it, right? Yeah, that's it. So, like, what's going on here? Why is Fnatic playing again with G2? Didn't they already win the regionals? Like, why are they here again? Oh god, I'm so confused. Helpless! What? So, what the fuck did they win then? What do you mean 1 of 2? And then everybody else just wins 1 of 1? Like, I'm so confused. And What the fuck is this? Where are they gonna go? Who is this? Why is there 3 more for LEC next week? Oh god, what is going on next week? What am I even searching for? Is this the end? Didn't they already win the championship? Oh my god, can somebody send me information or somebody write an article? Because I don't know what's going on with my life right now. LEC, there's LEC September, what? Why is there so many? And then look, there's nothing left. I know there's one more team. I know LEC actually has more teams than LCS, so it makes sense why they would play more games, but nobody's here. So, who's actually playing? I don't know. Alright. I just know, follow the Reckless. Like, I don't actually understand tournament rules. I don't understand scheduling. Yeah, it's like Rift Rivals, except there's no humans to ask. Like, I don't know if you guys remember seeing me at Rift Rivals, thank you, but I will hunt you down and I will get the answer from you of where Reckless is. But this is the internet. There's nobody to hunt down. Like, who am I even gonna ask? I don't, like, what do I do? I can't walk up to be someone and be like, hey, what's going on? Why do I, like I said, if I really wanted someone, I could easily date them. I just don't know if I want it or not, or if it's worth my time. So yeah. I mean, we can finish the game, but there's really nothing to talk about past this. Ma! I bought you Tory Burch stuff, but it's still in the mail, and it's not gonna come until, I think, the 10th? So don't worry, I got you another birthday present, but I bought it, like, a day late because it's expensive and I didn't want to spend my money. But I kind of figured you'd get mad at me like this. So I still bought you it, but it's not here yet. It's 2 days late, don't blame me. I didn't want to pay the extra shipping. Because I broke your Tory Burch flip-flop, so I returned you one. I don't have money to buy you Lululemon pants, sorry. No, it's my mom's birthday today. Okay. And then I gotta change the lipstick so I can give it to my grandma on September 20th. Because that's my grandma's birthday. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a painful 7 minutes. This is the moment that I woke up and realized what the fuck is wrong with this game. No, that I know it's Reckless's birthday. That is the same birthday as my grandma, so it's pretty easy to remember. So that's why I was like, somebody send him the gift because I don't know where the fuck he lives. I know I will. I have like 2-3 minutes of this game left. Why did I say 2 or 3? Because if it's times 2 and 6 divided by 2, then that would be like 3 minutes, right? 350? You mean 330? Oh god. Huh? I know. Look how easy that reverse sweep would have been. But no, they're all fighting over my hentai. Oh yeah, I know. I know. This is why I was like, I don't want to make this video and I don't want to make a tweet, but you know what? You guys are very angry individuals. No, this is actually what happens when you deal with very successful people and very, not dominant, but independent people who don't really rely on other people. Because the reason why Fnatic is so strong is because Whippo doesn't need, like, Whippo never needs help. And so Broxah kind of takes over for Nemesis, and then Rekkles and Hilly. Can you kind of see how that really balances out? Because they all, exactly. So when you're dealing with people that are very independent like this, you're going to have this ego, but it's not really ego because it's like, you know? No, that's why I said they're gonna call Broxah misogynistic. Why don't they call Rekkles massage? They do. That's why I defend Broxah, because they do the same shit with Rekkles. Like, they're nice to Broxah now, but as soon as it doesn't benefit her to do so, she's gonna throw him under the bus, just like she threw Rekkles under the bus. So it's really the same thing, and she's using the same strategy. So like, I don't know, like, I'm not. Yeah, but Broxah is a good jungler, whether or not you want to admit it. So you can't just throw your teammate under the bus, regardless of, like, you know? Yeah, but Nemesis isn't really that strong of a mid laner anyways to begin with. So... Oh. Okay, we got like 3 more minutes, I think. Or like, was it 30 or 33? If I could speed this up, I would. This was like the most painful part of the game. That's why I just started tweeting at the end. I was just like, I know they're gonna lose, and honestly, I kind of want to entertain myself. Because I can't watch this anymore. Ugh. I know! Wow, look at them legs go. Ooh, little legs. Little legs! Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm getting bored. I gotta entertain myself. Look how good. See how like Fnatic can just freaking reverse sweep? Oh my god, dude. Dude. They're still mad over Rekkles and the original region, whatever. This is revenge. Oh god. I don't think... Why didn't anybody just tell me that G2 was still gonna compete anyways? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I honestly still don't think... Why would they play again? They didn't win the trophy? Then what the fuck was the point of, like... Oh, these are the finals? Oh, I thought it was like the end. And then that's why I was like, wait. How come in NA we're gonna go to somewhere else to compete for the... Oh no, that's why I got confused. Thank you. So whoever said, okay, so... Okay, I need to close this. This is fucking confusing me. You see how, like, after this game... You see? Right? So I was like, oh, okay, LEC's doing the same thing. No, they're not! You see how that fucked me? So, huh? I know! So you see how, like, for me, I got really confused because I can understand your concept of, like, I mean, why would they compete at the studio? Why don't you tell me? Why don't you explain this to me then? Is that gonna make sense? It was the last game. What, like this was part... of the last game, was it? But they're both at the venue though. So what what last game are you talking about? What do I mean? Oh god, where did it go? I think they had a few last games here to decide who's going, right? And then because of that, then they went. But this isn't as clear. You guys, I don't think you understand. I don't understand how tournaments work. Like, I don't understand what you're writing. Like, you know how, like, you know how they said this, right? Thank you. You know how they were like, okay, so here's the play-in stage. Okay, what the fuck is the play-in stage? Where is Reckless gonna be? I don't understand. What is the group stages? Sounds the same to me. So, like, what is going on with my life? I'm so confused. So this isn't the group stages yet? What is the play-in stage? October? So they're gonna play in again? So then what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this September shit? What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Do you guys see? Like, this is why NALCS is the way it is. No, because he knew I was like this, you know, like, I don't think you guys understand. I'm very good at stuff like economics, politics, math, games, you know? Like, not even all games. Well, that's because he's known me since Neopets, so he knows how bad I am. But that's not... That's a whole different thing. He understands that I'm not faking it because I've always been this dumb. Because of Neopets. But... like... I don't think anybody else in esports really believes me because you guys haven't seen me since Neopets, so you guys are like, damn, she can't really be this dumb, and it's like, that's why they're like, yeah, I don't think Christine's faking it. No, that's why he said that I wasn't faking it, because he knows from Neopets. But nobody else knows that. So you guys all think, oh yeah, Christine's just pretending like she doesn't know. Like, no, genuinely, I don't know. That's why LCS is so clear, because of what he has done specifically to help me understand. Oh yeah, I know. But every time I say this, he's gonna be like emotionally attached to me again. And then that's me emotionally cheating, and then I get in trouble. Because now I'm emotionally cheating on... It's micro cheating? Okay, but it's still cheating? See? Anyways, let us finish this game. Sometimes I just want to play video games, so I stop drinking water because I don't want to pee. They could have reverse sweeped here so hard. There's something that went on that I don't know about. But I'll take the responsibility for it. Because I think it did kind of fuck some shit up. Sorry, this is why I laugh when e-girls try to create like an atmosphere of problems for me. I'm just like, man, you don't even want to know what I would be capable of. But I already do it with OkCupid, and I already did it in real life, so like that's why I personally know how to fix the problems that you are creating for yourselves, and that's why you guys are like blaming me. But I'm like, honestly, this is why I don't do that in esports. Okay, we need to... oh, thank you. You know, Perks is throwing. His balls aren't hitting right, and he barely even stuns anyone. How do I reach these kids? Yeah, Reckless would have done fine. Reckless is probably like, fuck, I threw last time. It's all my fault. And it's like, oh no, it's all Christine's fault. Oh, it is my fault. What can I do? There's nothing that I can do. And that's kind of why I hate e-girls even more. Why? I think a lot of this, like, ooh, that's even bigger. A lot of this actually comes from e-girl stuff. Like, I don't think anybody on Fnatic would be this mad if it wasn't for e-girls. Like, you guys would have been like, oh, okay, I see what Christine's doing. And then you guys wouldn't be as mad at me. Well, that's only because it's like a healthy relationship, not like a relationship of, you know, whatever it is that you guys are doing. So yeah, that's about it. There's nothing that I can really do. I know Fnatic still qualifies regardless. No, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said, you know, you guys should always support your male friends, because it's like only you guys understand this. Like, honestly, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So like, well, I mean, Reckless is obviously aware, right? So, well, I mean, if Reckless is aware and then the rest of the Fnatic team is also throwing, then isn't that just like a... No, not that way. You gotta go pee pee. Okay, I gotta go walk my dogs. They haven't walked since last night. And oh my gosh, dude, have you guys ever had like plastic pads, right? Just constantly hit your fucking clit and it fucking hurts. Like, it doesn't even feel good. Because at first, it's like, because you know how like sometimes when people hit your clit, it's like they hit it really fucking hard and it like hurts more than it actually feels good. Okay, this is like a female only thing. But why in the fuck is my pad hurting my clit right now? And like, I don't know how to make it stop. And honestly, like, it's not even like, because yeah, I know what you guys are talking about, where like when you like have your period and then you don't wash it, you know, and then it gets like inflamed or whatever the fuck it's called. But I don't think that's it. I think it's just like, you know how like when you wear your underwear and then yeah, because it's plastic, it like starts hitting it and rubbing it and oh my holy Jesus, it fucking hurts. Alright, anyways, this is like a female thing, don't worry about it. But how about trans? I don't think transsexuals have to deal with this because your vaginas are perfectly made. So I don't think you guys would have to deal with this. But if you guys do and you have a solution, that would be great if you could tell me. But anyways, I'm gonna go. I don't want to start that anymore because we already had a problem just now, so I don't really want to go back to that problem again. Why do I post? Oh yeah, so I posted the hentai because I wanted to show you guys how like... Okay, so I read this manga a really long time ago for you artists and hentai lovers out there, where like she wasn't even like a hentai artist. She was doing hentai because she wanted to be like a full-time manga artist, but she couldn't make money making regular mangas. So then she had to start selling and working for like a hentai printing company or whatever so she can earn enough money to actually make her own. So that has always stuck to me. I don't remember what manga or manga it was, but it was really funny because she was, yeah, I know I'm coming! Because she was like running and then she dropped all her mangas on the ground because someone hit her or whatever and she had to pick up like a bunch of hentai. And like it was just really embarrassing for her because she was all like, this isn't even the job that I want, but this is like a job that I have to do to be able to do what I really want to do. And that has always stuck with me, and why I will always support manga artists, because I feel like, what if this is actually a very true story? And that's why I noticed, if you guys are very good writers and very good artists, that like this is exactly why you're doing it, and that's why I support you guys in it. And yeah, I don't know how, I mean, I'm sure you guys can find me, because I was like, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna find you. But no, this is why, you see how like I get this kind of like sexual attention, and instead of like flirting, instead of me flirting with people and like emotionally manipulating them or leading them on, like what happened with Fnatic today, I'd much rather just hire you guys, and then you guys can make like hentais or whatever in your version, because we all know I'm not very good at writing stories, and we all know that I don't really like people knowing what I do in my sex lives. So of course I would much rather hire you guys and just give you guys all the commission while I advertise for you. Does that kind of make sense? Because the thing that you're helping me is not something money can buy. Like, you're taking the sexual tension off of me. Does that kind of make sense? So, and then once you make that manga, I can be like, well, why don't you guys try to find someone who does this for you? Because I have no input and I have no imagination, and this has nothing to do with me. They wrote the story, they came up with the idea, they came up with the positions. This has nothing to do with me. I didn't tell them to do anything. So maybe use this as an inspiration. Like for me, that's why I was purposely tweeting those things, because those are my favorite things in sex, right? And those are my favorite things to be said. But I am too shy to say what I want, so it's just really nice to see like a manga artist, like, you know what I mean? So then can you see how that sexual tension would not ever come back to me? It would just go back to you guys, because it would be like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then yeah, but it's still my platform and my reputation, and in exchange I don't want your money, because what I want is to take that sexual tension off of me. But how can you even buy that, right? So instead of asking you for a commission in return, just make these things so then all this sexual tension can go away. Does that kind of make sense? So like, you are giving me something, it's just not money. I mean, you may not think you're giving me something, but to me, you actually are giving me a lot, because now they're not thinking about having sex with me, they're thinking about what you drew. And they're not thinking about what I specifically say, because I don't say anything, so they're just thinking about what you wrote. So like, can you see how that helps me in a way where no money will ever be able to buy it? Well, how the fuck, where do I get that from? Like, even if I have privacy, people are still gonna fantasize about me. That's never gonna stop, right? So instead of having them fantasize about me with their own mind, why not give them something to fantasize? And that's what you will do as an artist. So wouldn't that just be you giving... Does that kind of make sense? I hope you guys are kind of understanding what I'm saying as an artist, because they're not going to be thinking about having sex with me, they're going to be thinking about your mangas. And that may or may not be what I'm actually doing. You see how that gives me the privacy, thank you, that I want? Because it's not even journalism, it's like their own fantasies. Like, journalists will, like, I know I can pay journalists to be like, hey, can you please not publish this? Or like, I will give you the revenue you will actually make so you guys don't lose money because you're helping me, kind of thing. So on the journalist side, it's not like they're publicizing my private life. It's that those fantasies are bothering me, because I don't feel like those fantasies are giving me personal privacy. And that's why I would hire these manga artists, because you guys would come up with stuff that may or may not be what I end exactly. You see how that's a privacy that I cannot buy? I would be paying, yeah, but it's my platform and my nudes in a way. You know what I mean? That's why I said you can keep all the profit, because there's going to be a lot of people that would want it. Well, if I do take a percentage, then what are you going to earn? Because people aren't going to want to read the same hentai manga every day. So why don't you just use me as a subject, and then I won't charge you for using me.
and in return I'll get the privacy that I want. Hey, look at my clips. Alright, but but you guys see what I'm trying to say, right? So I understand, like, if you're not an artist or whatever, you might not understand this, but I think anybody who's actually an artist knows what I'm doing, and I'm giving them the opportunity to pretty much earn a lot of money for it's not, I don't think it's commission, marketing fees. I don't know, you know. Anyways, these are all the clips I had on my microphone. Look at it. I don't have any hair, so I don't need this. I'm gonna put it back downstairs. But I just thought I'd let you guys know that, because I think I never really went into detail how that works. But usually people who are gonna ask you for commission back are probably not really artists that are good, because they don't really understand, like, the struggle of being honest and not taking advantage of people. Because I've noticed really shitty artists tend to ask a lot for nothing, and then really good artists, they're like, oh well, I know you struggle, and that's kind of why I refuse to take your commission, and that's why I don't want to ask you for anything, because I know that you're never gonna turn on me. And the people that don't get it, you're probably not really the artist I'm talking about anyway, so not talking to you. Okay. Why am I doing this? I don't know, I was just really bored. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Thank you, and I mean, I would say stop fighting, but I like fighting too, so I can't really, like, even tell you guys not to do something that I even enjoy doing. So I'm gonna go. Thank you and goodbye. Oh, I'll be in NALCS chat. Oh, sorry. I'll be in the LCS chat. There is no NA. Thank you and goodbye.